This is a project I'm working on for a friend that plays in weekly golf scrambles. These events consist of teams that are comprised of 3 players with varying skill levels, A, B, and C. They're randomly put together, they go out and play, and once they come back, their results are evaluated. And the top winners will receive cash and/or prizes. Now, these results are maintained throughout the season, and at the end of the season, the players in each skill level with the most winnings will receive Player of the Year awards. So what this app needs to have is a team builder, a record of winnings and results, and a player database that will keep just common information about the player. To begin with, let's look at the player information list, which is basically the bio information. I've added some names here fictitiously just to show you what they would look like. You've got basic information, first name, last name, level, phone number, email. You put the information in on the left, add the player, and they're all populated into the list. You also have the ability of highlighting the name, and their information appears on the left, and you can update whatever needs to be changed, such as phone number, email. You can also delete the player if they no longer wish to participate in the series. There's a secondary benefit of this list I will show you in just a second. To begin with, in the first week, you have the team builder. You have players come in, they enter their name, they tell you what level they're in, and you can populate the box here of that specific level, and they will be used in generating the teams. However, by having a populated player list before the season starts and populated throughout the season, you can at a single click import that player over to the appropriate box. If you see here, you've got the ability to just pull the players over like so. And you can still have the occasional walk-in. Say Alan Smith walks in and he says, "Hey, I want to participate in your event. I'm a C player. Can you go ahead and add me?" Well, that's no problem at all. You just simply do that. And so on and so forth until everyone is entered and ready to go. And at that point, you're willing to, you can just simply finish the build and hit enter, and the teams will compile. But there's one more thing. Remember when I put in Brian Masters? Brian Masters is an A player. Well, say that the teams are uneven and that you have maybe one extra A player and you're short a B player. So you just bring him over and assume that Bob was just an extra person. And to even out the teams, you need to bring Brian Masters, an A player, to the B level. You click Finish Build, and there you go. Brian Masters, though he's an A player today, he'll be playing as a B player, and that's fine. You still have an A player, a B player, a C player on this team, an A player, today a B player, and a C player on this team. And it generates all your teams all the way down the list. Now, quickly, let me show you back to the player database. Remember that walk-in, Alan Smith? His name is populated into the list, and you can just fill out his information at your leisure and have him updated as well. And that's a little added feature there that's really nice. Back to the database of results. This table shows results. This is randomly from the week before, let's say March 21st, not the one we just compiled. And I've added these results in here just to show you how that works. You can enter the date, first name, last name, level, score, and winnings of the player, and click Add, and he will be added to the list. However, I learned that to make things easier and to save time, you can actually click on one player, and with a couple of changes, you can add his teammates to that list. Remember, they all have the same score and the same winnings, so with just a couple of changes, the name and the level, you can actually change the information and add that player, and they're populated in the list. That way you don't have to put the date in every time and the score and the winnings. So that's nice too. Also, you have your cumulative winnings throughout the seasons. As the winnings are compiled, you want them to reflect for that player. Here, those 3 players all have $50. They won $50 that week. Okay. Say you have the next week. Remember Brian Masters? Okay, let's bring him over here. You don't have to input all the information from scratch. You can simply change the date. Remember, he wasn't an A player the second week. He was a B player. And his score, say the score the second week on his team was -2 for the team. That wasn't that great, but it was still enough to get him something, $20. So that was his results for that week, and you want to add them. Now here he's an A player on these results, and here he's a B player the next week. But what happens when you want to show his winnings? You want to show what his cumulative winnings are regardless of what level he was at. And there it is. He's still an A player. He was playing as a B player, but his winnings are cumulative. They add. So it doesn't take any difference in that. And that's nice. And you do this throughout the season, and that's how you keep track of the players' information, the players' results, and the players' winnings. And that's basically it. Pretty simple app. I will say that in the future I plan on adding clickable pictures here that will take the place of these buttons, the menu buttons that I have on top, and you will be able to accomplish your tasks through the pictures. So that's about it. If you have any suggestions or features that I should include, please let me know. I'd be happy to hear from you. Thank you.